గురించి మీకు తెలియదు. నన్ను శ్రీరామ్ పెద్ద పెద్ద కంపెనీస్కు ఇంట్రడక్షన్ చేశాడు, చాలా పెద్ద పెద్ద కంపెనీస్కు. కోకోకోలా ఇండియా మొత్తం వారు నాకు చూపించిన దారి. చాలా టాప్ మోస్ట్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్, టాప్ మోస్ట్ కంపెనీస్, చార్టర్డ్ అకౌంటెంట్స్, ఐసిఐ అన్నీ కూడా వారు చూపించిన దార్గమే నాకు. సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది బెస్ట్ పర్సనాలిటీ. వారు ఒక్క వర్డ్ ఇస్తే ఆ వర్డ్ మీద 2 hours మాట్లాడతాడు. ఓన్లీ 1 word. ఇఫ్ యూ గివ్ మీ 1 word, he will speak on that word 2 hours. Such a powerful orator, powerful speaker, powerful trainer, international standard. That is none other than Sreeram.
Good afternoon. Okay, very nice to be in Impact. Either I'm there on the first day or on the last day. My name is JVC Sreeram, and today I'm going to speak on a different topic from what I used to regularly speak, because this speech is not for all the 1,500 or 1,000 people who are sitting here. This is, even if 10 people who are sitting in this hall can take this message and do something with this message in their life, 10 years from now, when we meet, your life would not be the same again, and you would have made a great impact to this world. I wish you belong to the 10 people. I don't know which 10 people are going to get benefited. I'm sure there are few people who are definitely going to get benefited. The first statement I want to make in life is, if you don't have goals for yourself, you will be working for somebody else's goals all through your life. If you don't have goals for yourself. So the first thing which I urge all of you to do is, each one of us should have a goal for yourself. Point number 1. You might have heard about this many a times, but I'm going to elaborate on it a little more. Why do you think America is today a powerful country? Why do you think so many Indians, so many people all over the world go to America? Have you ever asked this question? How many of you in this room want to go to America? Raise your hands. How many of you? Okay, I can see quite a few hands. Why do you want to go to America? What is so great about this country? What is not there in our country which is there in America? Simple. It's not just the dollars. Opportunities which are available. Why are there so many opportunities? There are opportunities for employment. There are opportunities because Americans have it in them to start their own business, to start their own enterprise. Now I would like to ask you one question. If we have to create a revolution in this country, it can happen only through the youth of this country. And the youth of this country will have to do only one thing. I don't know how many of you, not thousands of you. For this revolution, thousands are not required. We need 10 people, 20 people from this room who can say that I'm going to take a risk of not going to work under somebody, but I am going to start my own enterprise. I am going to start my own business. Now, why is it required? It is required because today 90% of people who are working in any organization, 90% of them are not happy with what they're doing. I go to a company like Coke and tell them, do you enjoy your job? Answer is no. People working in call center, BPOs, work in the night shift, tell them, are you happy with what you're doing? No. Why? Because when the whole world is sleeping, I work. Because when does the work start? Eppudu work start avutadi? Ratri 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the night. When devils are walking and dogs are barking, that is where the vehicle will come and pick me up. When the whole world is sleeping, I go to work. I go to a manufacturing company and ask them, do you enjoy your job? What enjoy, sir? 25 samvatsaram, same mission. Missions start shaking, I will also shake. That's how it is. Today, wherever you go, you don't find people happy because, literally speaking, most of us who take up employment, it's as good as taking slavery. So if our country has to go to the next level, it can happen when a few youngsters, youth, come forward and say, I'm going to begin my own business. But can I succeed? I'm going to talk about 5 things. I call this speech as 5 plus 3. 5 things which stops you from starting an entrepreneur. And 3 things which you need to have to become an entrepreneur. 5 things which are stopping you from starting an enterprise. And 3 things which you should have to start an enterprise. But first thing you should know, sir, America la avutuda, India la avutuda, the biggest market in the world is second biggest market in the world today, and which will become the biggest market in the world in the next few years. Do you know which market? Which country? India. This is the nation where the entire world wants to come and set up the shop. From the Walmart to the Mercedes-Benz to the best of hospitals, everybody want to come here because the greatest market, the greatest strength, what was called as a weakness of our country 20 years back is going to be our strength, and the strength is our population. This country has got the biggest market, and if we cannot succeed in this market, you cannot succeed in any other market. Our state is equal to 3 countries in Europe. Our state, Andhra Pradesh, is equal to 3 countries in Europe. So what is the opportunity we are talking about? Opportunity is huge. Opportunity is humongous. Only thing is you have to decide that I'm going to take the plunge. But 5 things may stop you. What is the first thing which is going to stop you? The first thing which is going to stop you is, now they're going to double level. We don't have money, we don't have capital. Let me tell you, the first point is you don't need money to start your business. Nobody had huge money. Ask all the people who have built business empire in the last 20 years, 30 years. Narayan Murthy started his Infosys in a flat, and for 10 years the company remained in an apartment. Company remained in an apartment. Ambani in 1960 started Reliance not by having millions in his hands. He was a petrol pump vendor boy. In fact, I'm not even talking about from others. 2000 I started my own company. Today I run a global organization, global training organization. I started my company in 2000. But the decision I made that I'm going to start this company, I made it in Secunderabad station. When I lost most of my friends, and standing there, I took my purse. I had 650 rupees when I started my company. I had only 650 rupees when I started my company. Because if you think I will have lakhs and crores, and then I'll start the business, I'll say if you have lakhs, put the lakhs in bank, enjoy the interest. Why do you have to start a business? Small beginning. You don't have to start big. Nothing great was achieved because it was started great. Everything great became great, but when it was started small. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. I repeat. You can clap nicely, no problem. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. All the great entrepreneurs, mine is a training business, so it was enough. 650 rupees was enough. Small beginning, continuous improvements, and sustained progress, and you can become another entrepreneur. So don't stop yourself from saying that I don't have money. Nobody started any business because they had lots of money. But what should you have? I will tell you. I said 5 reasons why people don't start. I'm going to speak on, and 3 reasons and 3 things which you should have to start. Those are the 2 things which I'm going to speak. The first thing, money. Money will come in search of you. If you have the talent, money will come. Apple, not even in India I'm talking about, even if you look at America. In India I spoke about Ambani, I spoke about Narayan Murthy, I spoke about my own life. Apple started in a garage. Steve Jobs did not have millions of dollars when he started. Two people started it. It is just that the dream was there, the vision was there, and the commitment was there. 10 years, Infosys ran in an apartment, not even in a building, in an apartment. And 10 years later, all his partners said, let's close down the business. Manaki business radu, close chestam. 10 years later. But he said, no, if you guys want to leave, leave. I'll buy your shares. And he borrowed money and bought their shares. So if you're waiting for money to come and then start, it's not required. From my own experience, I can tell you, but Sreeram, you will fail, right? Yes. It took 3 years for me to start seeing profits. It took 3 years. From 2000 to 2003, I did not see profits. You will go through tough times. But do you want long-term gain or short-term gain? If you want long-term gain, you have to go through short-term pain. If you don't go through short-term pain, you will not get long-term gain. Point number one, you don't need money to start. Number two, many people think I should know a lot of people before I start my business. నాకు చాలా మంది connections kavali, relationship kavali. Again, not required. Again, let me quote from my own life. When I came to Hyderabad, నాకు భాష తెలియదు. I'm from Chennai. I don't know Hindi, I don't know Telugu. I knew only two languages, Tamil and English. ఇక్కడ వచ్చేటప్పుడు నాకు I didn't know the language. And I knew only one family. In fact, when I left from Chennai, people asked me, how many people you do know in Hyderabad? I said, I know one family. నాకు ఒక family తెలుసు. But is it enough? I said, but that one family knows several families. Is that true or not? You don't have to know everybody. You don't need hundreds of connections. What you need is, you need few people to trust you. Even when I started my business, I didn't have hundreds of people who are going to come forward to help me. I knew there are 2 or 3 people who are going to help me, and that's enough. If you think that you should know the entire Hyderabad to start your own business, it's not required. You just need to know 1 or 2 people who are vital. In fact, not only that, I have my operations in Kenya. I started in 2010. I knew only one person in Kenya. That was enough. One person who could trust. If you think you should know hundreds of people before you start your business, you're wrong. You just need to know one person who's willing to trust you. FedEx. How many of you have heard of this company called FedEx? Okay. FedEx. The man who started FedEx, FedEx is the world's largest courier company. What he did was, he was convinced that America needed a courier service, because at that point of time, America had only American Post, like say US Post, like India have Indian Post Office, same way they had. This guy submitted a project proposal to Harvard Business School, saying that we should start another courier company. Harvard Business School rejected the idea, saying that not required. And then he went and submitted to another school called Stanford. These are the 2 greatest schools in the world. And Stanford too rejected it. Any other person would have given up on the idea when he came to know the 2 people, that is Harvard professors and Stanford professors, have rejected. But he said, let me start. Let me start. The company was started. After the first day's operations was over, the owner of the company called his employees and said, you know what? 7 people have bought our service today. And the good news is, all the 7 parcels have been delivered. Of these 7, 5 of them were our own internal employees who sent courier. We had 2 outside customers. All we need to do is, we have convinced 2 people now that we are good. We have to convince another 2 million that we are good, and we'll become a world-class leader. FedEx started off with 2 customers. You understand? If you think you need hundreds of people to start your business, I'm sorry, my dear friend, you just need one person, one connection, one relationship, and that can make all the difference of starting. Because the only way we can become a crorepati is not by working under somebody. The only way you can become a crorepati is to work for yourself. And who does not want to be a crorepati in this room? Anybody who does not want to be a crorepati, please raise your hands. Some people do not want to become, because they think that having money is bad. Let me tell you, if you don't have money, I already made this statement in Impact a couple of years back. If you don't have money, money will go into the hands of Dawood Ibrahim. Money will go into the hands of Lalu Prasad Yadav. Money will go into the hands of Al-Qaeda. And when Al-Qaeda's hands money goes, you will have terrorist activity. When in the hands of good people money goes, even if you don't want to have money, you can invest that money on educating thousands of people. In fact, I always believe, even if you don't need money, you must have money. Because if good people don't have money, money goes into the hands of bad people. When Bill Gates has billions of dollars, he says, I will spend billions in eradicating AIDS from the world. But when the billions go to Al-Qaeda, there will be millions of terrorist attacks and we will all get killed. Next time you think whether I should have money or not, think twice. Every one of us have a moral responsibility to be rich. And we can be rich by starting our own enterprise. And if India cannot, why is India poor? India is poor because Indians are poor. When will India become rich? India will become rich when Indians become rich. In fact, it is not a shame, it is not a crime to be rich. So that's why you have to, number 2 idea, which you need to shun, is I need lot of connections, I need lot of relationship, not required. Number 3, I don't have great idea. Because all of us are, fascinated with this idea. In fact, it seems that one book became a bestseller. And the author did not even know how it became a bestseller, because idea word has got a big thing now. You want to write a book saying that an idea can change your life. There is a small printing mistake. An idea can change your wife. And the book sold in billions. Okay, ideas. Every one of us get fascinated with ideas. Now let me tell you one story of a real man. This man didn't have a great idea. He had a product. He had a small product which was very cheaply available in the market, and he wanted to compete against Unilever. You must be aware of Hindustan Lever and all those companies. His product he had was Nirma. You heard of Nirma? Nirma is a washing powder. And this guy, a Gujarati, he manufactured and he was selling in his village, and it was going very well. He didn't have an idea on how to take it to the country, whole country. But soon realized this, that this product must go to every part of the country, because it is cheap, it is good, and the Indians can afford, because not every Indian can afford a surf or an aerial, which is expensive, and it is a multinational product. And he didn't have an idea. But he had a group of people, his friends in the village, who were sitting. And he said, I don't want to spend money on transportation, because one of the biggest problem for FMCG companies is transportation. Manufacturing happens in Gujarat, and it has to reach entire country from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And you have to spend money to transport it. True or not? He said, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money. I want to spend that, because if I'm going to spend more money, I have to price more, and I don't want to charge my customers more. One fellow who was not even 8th standard pass came with an idea. He said, Sarji, 5 villages later, there is one factory where they manufacture Syntex drums, big drums. They send these drums all over the country. And why don't you go and talk to them of saying that we will put Nirma in their Syntex drum, so that it can reach all over the country, and we will have to just spend a few rupees for every consignment, for every drum, and we don't have to spend in thousands. And an idea changed Nirma. And I think as an youngster, I have seen so many Nirma advertisements. A company competed with Hindustan Lever. You're able to understand what I'm trying to say? That's all. What am I trying to say? You don't need a great idea to start. Ideas will come. When Apple was started by Steve Jobs, he never had an idea that he'll come out with iPhone. He never had an idea that he'll come out with an iPad. Because some of you are thinking, when I get good idea, I will start. No, you will never get that idea. Whatever idea you have, you start. You can go as far as you can see, and from there you can see further. An young boy was lost in the forest. It was evening time, and he had a lantern with him. It was sunset time, and he was passing through the forest, and he was standing with a lot of fear, and he saw an old man walking by. The old man asked the young boy, "What are you doing here, standing with this lantern?" He said, "My village is 25 kilometers away, and I have to walk through the forest." "So walk." He said, "But sir, this lantern can show me light only for the next 100 meters. After that I can't see. So I don't know what to do. Animals may come. I don't know what to do." The old man said, "Young boy, walk for the next 100 meters. Once you reach 100th meter, you will see the next 100 meters. Reach there, and then it will show you the next 100 meters. You can go as far as you can see, and from there you can see further. If you think that I need all the great ideas to start my own business, it will never happen." So number one, you don't need a lot of money to start your business. Number two, you don't need a lot of people, a lot of connections to start your business. Number three, you don't need great ideas to start your business. Number four, "But sir, I don't have educational qualification. I'm not an MBA from IIM. I'm not from XLRI. I'm not from IIT. I am studied ordinary engineering college." I know a lot of engineering college students are here. My dear friend, in fact, a lot of people who have achieved greatness have achieved not because of their educational qualification. It is in spite of their educational qualification. You know, all the great people, Bill Gates, school dropout. Ambani never went to school, college. Steve Jobs, another college dropout. You don't need great education. You don't need great graduation. If you think you will have a lot of education to start, it is not required. Because history shows, in fact, one of the greatest business person in the last 10 years, his name is Anil Agarwal. Have you heard of Anil Agarwal? The man who started Vedanta Group, Sterlite Group. He says, "I am not qualified. I am hardly 10th standard qualified." But he runs a 50,000 crore company. But he says, "I have MBAs, chartered accountants, best of the engineers from IIT working for me. As long as I have the entrepreneurial spirit, educated people will come to me. I don't have to be educated. I don't have to be educated." Because I'm not saying education is not important, but right now, whatever you have, it does not matter. Because don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you have. 6 months back, I met a guy by name Chandra Jain in Bangalore. And this man, Chandra Jain, says, "I have not even qualified 10th standard, matriculation pass, that's all." But today, he owns the South India's largest educational institutions called Jain Group of Institutions, which provide education for 50,000 people. 50,000 people. And he himself is not educated. So what am I saying? Don't think that you need great education. You need great qualification to start your own business. Not required. But Sreeram, then what is required? I'll come to it. I'll come to it. You don't need money. You don't need great connections. You don't need great ideas. You don't need great formal education. And finally, the fifth one is why is it stopping you from starting or venturing or living your dream? Not only for entrepreneurship, this is also for employment. Anything you want to do. All the time, 90% of the people are focusing on our weakness. You know the difference between a leader and a mediocre? A leader is not bothered about his weakness. A mediocre is all the time bothered about his weakness. Do you know Rajinikanth has got a lot of weakness? Do you agree with me that Rajinikanth is a superstar? Yes. Is he a superstar, yes or no? Yes. Is he successful? Yes. How many weaknesses he had? Number one starting point is the color. In an industry which is obsessed with fairness. Number two, his biggest competition was Kamal Haasan. And Kamal Haasan is a great dancer. And Rajinikanth doesn't know dancing. Number three, his again competitor is Kamal Haasan. What was great about him? His greatness was acting, emotion. And Rajinikanth was bad in it. But Rajinikanth did not focus on any of those weaknesses. What did he focus upon? He focused on his strength, which was his style. Two things, style and body language. That's it. Now, if I have to succeed, I'll have to focus on my strength, not on my weakness. Not on my weakness. Many of the people who come and ask me, sir, my English is not very good. My pronunciation is not good. I always ask them, have you ever listened to Abdul Kalam? Is his pronunciation correct? Does he speak like a British American? He speaks ordinary English. But he focuses on his strength, not on the weakness. My dear friends, do not focus on what you don't have. Look at what you have. Look at what you have. And what do you have? And you have enough and more. You have enough and more. You are born in a country which is free. Think about it. You could have been born in Somalia. In Somalia, people are dying because they don't have next meal to eat. You are born in India. In India, you could have been born in Kashmir, where opportunities are not there. You could have been born in Northeast, where there is so much of insurgency. They belong to India, but still they are not feeling that they are Indians. You are born in Hyderabad. And what is it you have? You have a multi-million-dollar body, which is effective. Do you know there are people who are born without eyes? People are born without hands, paralyzed. You have a multi-million-dollar body. Instead of focusing on your strength, instead of focusing on what you have, do not focus on what you don't have. You have enough, more than enough. Right now, all you need to do is to focus on what you have. Look at your strengths. What is your strength? Maybe one of your strengths is to all the time sit at the computer and do the work. You can do analysis. Do something where you can utilize your strength. From my own life, I'm a computer engineer by education, but I don't know anything about computers. I'm not good in Telugu. I'm not good in Hindi. I don't know driving. I don't know swimming. I don't know singing. I don't know. If I have to make an audit of it, I can write a 365-page book which says, I don't know, I can't, I don't know, I can't. But I don't focus on all those 365 things. I know only one thing, talking. You understand? That is my strength. And I ask myself, how do I put this strength to use? What is your strength? What is your strength? That is the question you have to ask. Maybe you're good in building relationship. Because that one strength is more than enough. Every one of us have hundreds of weakness. And if you're going to spend your lifetime to overcome the weakness, you will still go to the grave with all the weakness intact. But you decide to work on one strength, you will create a legacy in your life. An unfortunate thing, in fact, parents don't even know. Teachers don't know. Without their knowledge, they've done. Work on your weakness, work on your weakness, work on your weakness. Why the hell should I work on my weakness when I have one strength? God gives one unique thing to every human being He has created. You have also been created by Him, which means He must have given you one strength. He might have given you hundreds of weakness, but He might have given you one strength. Focus on that one strength. Find out that one strength. What is yours? What is yours? Can you ask Virendra Sehwag to bat like Rahul Dravid? That's not his strength. You have to allow people to express their strength. Amitabh Bachchan could never act like Rajesh Khanna. But Amitabh Bachchan never wanted to become Rajesh Khanna. Amitabh Bachchan wanted to be Amitabh Bachchan. Rajinikanth wanted to be a Rajinikanth. That's why Rajinikanth is Rajinikanth. Find out what is that strength you have in you. And you should be having one. In fact, from today onwards, I make a very bold statement. And I'm making a controversial statement because some of you may not even like what I'm saying. మీ దగ్గర ఏం లేదు చూడకండి. మీ దగ్గర ఏం ఉందిను చూడండి. ఈ రోజు నుంచి మీ దగ్గర ఏముంది? What is that one strength you have? And have pride in that. I always tell, I cannot sing like Hariharan, but can Hariharan sing like me? That's all. Why do you have to compare? మీలాగా తెలుగు నాకు రాదు. నా తెలుగు మీరు మాట్లాడండి ఒకసారి. 1 minute నాలాగా మీరు తెలుగు మాట్లాడండి. Why should I should be happy about the strengths which I have, not the weakness I have. And the more and more time you spend on your weakness, the more and more weaker you become. The more and more time you focus on your strength, the more and more strong you become. Do you want to become strong or do you want to become weak? The world has made you weak. Now it's the time to tell your world, shut up. It's my life. I will focus on my strength, because that is what leaders have done. And if you want to be a leader, focus on your strength. Focus on your strength. But sir, what should I have? The 5 things you have talked about, because these are 5 things. I call this as 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is the way to success. 5 myths why people don't start their own business. Number 1, I don't have money. Number 2, I don't have people. Number 3, I don't have ideas. Number 4, I don't have education. Number 5, I have a lot of weakness. I have answered all the 5. Now what should you have? 3 things what you should have. Number 1, you should have passion. Passion. In fact, last speech of Impact of mine in the month of May 2013 was on passion. Go back to YouTube and listen to it. Passion means what? Something for which you are ready to die is your passion. Something for which you will put your life at stake. That's your passion. Something which you would love to do 24/7, 365 days without getting bored. That's your passion. Something for which you will do anything you want in life. That's your passion. Find your passion. Number 1. What is your passion? What are you deeply passionate about? And if your passion can become your business, the passion for Narayan Murthy was very simple. He says in one of the interviews, born in a poor middle class South Indian Brahmin family, I wanted to make people rich. Born in a country where unemployment was rampant, I want to create a world which can provide employment to thousands of people. And that's what he did. He didn't go in search of employment. he went in search of providing employment to people. Are you getting my point, my dear friends? And that's what makes a leader. What's your passion? Number one. Number two, to be a successful entrepreneur, you might just need one person to begin, but then you need to keep on building right relationships. Whom are you with? What is the kind of relationship you have? In fact, at the end of this speech, when you go out, I can visualize. In this end, 2-3 people will come together. వచ్చి ఏం మాట్లాడతారు? ఈయన అన్నీ మాట్లాడినారా, బట్ ఏంటంటే డబ్బు లేకపోతే ఏం చేయం కదా, ఆపర్చునిటీ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది? So when 3 people meet and discuss, one fellow will say money is a problem, another fellow will say opportunity is a problem, third fellow will say why risk? Now you know pretty well that you are with a group of people who are negative, and the more and more you are with negative people, negative relationship, your life is going to turn more and more negative. Other bunch, 3 of them meet, who decide to be a leader. One guy says, hey, I want to know what is going to be my strength. And the other guy says, because your friends can actually tell you what is your strength. And somebody else says, your greatest strength is what? You know, you can build friendship like that. People start talking positive. Now, you have to ask yourself one question. Are you on this side of the hall or this side of the hall? Whom are you with? If you are with people who are going to speak positive all the time, your life is going to be positive. If you are going to be with people who are going to speak negative all the time, your life is going to be negative. So the company you choose, the friendship you choose is going to make a difference whether you are going to become an entrepreneur or you're going to become an employee. Very simple. In fact, I always tell, your net worth depends on your network. Whom are you relating with on a daily basis? And today Stanford had released a research which says your net worth depends upon the average net worth of 10 people with whom you relate with on a daily basis. I'll repeat it so that you will understand. Your net worth na enta undi nu digra, that is equal to the average of the 10 people's net worth with whom you relate with on a daily basis. On a daily basis, if you are relating with successful people, you automatically become a success. On a daily basis, you are relating with the people who are failures, your life becomes a failure. So whom are you relating with? That is point number 2. Have you understood my point? Whom are you relating with? Forget about even entrepreneurship, even as a student. I asked my brother. Now brother never went for IIT coaching. Nobody in my family thought he will get into IIT, but he got IIT All India 55th rank. I went and asked my brother, evaga niku IIT seat dorikindi? He said, na college lo, Vivekananda College, Chennai is where I was studying. He said 42 people were there in the class, 41 of us have joined IIT. You understand? When I am surrounding myself with successful people, my life will be success. When I am surrounding myself with failures, my life will be a failure. Whom are you surrounding with? That's very, very important. Whom are you surrounding with? And that also depends upon your thoughts. See, please understand. Pure water will draw saint. Drainage water will draw mosquitoes. Who you draw depends upon who you are. You understand? Who you are is going to determine whom you draw. Ayyo, mosquitoes vastudi na. Drainage digre em vastudi. Saints are coming there. Why? Because that's what is the key. Whom you relate with will make all the difference. Make your relationships count. And the last and final point with which I would probably close my speech is ability to handle failure. If you want to be successful, there is only one way you can be successful. can you handle failures? There is no person who has been successful in this world who had not met with failures. 10 years later, after Narayana Murthy started the business, all his partners came and said, let us sell off. Do you know, world's #1 bowler, Muthaiya Muralidharan, 800 wickets he has taken. To take 800 wickets, he bowled 45,000 deliveries, which means 43,000 times he had failed. But is he a failure or is he a success? Failure or success? You will face more failures. I have faced more failures. In fact, the very reason that you will face failures will tell you that you can achieve success. I don't have to tell you, you must have heard so many times. You might have heard an impact. Thomas Alva Edison was asked, why are you still trying? 9,000 times you have failed. He said, no, 9,999 times I learned how not to invent a bulb. Now I will invent a bulb. Go and ask the best footballer in the world, Messi. He says, if I have to score 8 goals, I have to fail 80 times. If I have to score 8 goals, I have to fail 80 times. The world's best batsman, Sachin Tendulkar, to score 50 centuries, 8 innings, once in 8 innings he scored a century. Remaining 7 innings he was a failure. So decide for yourself. But all successful people were courageous to face failure. So in this journey of entrepreneurship, are you ready to face failure? If you're ready to face failures, success is waiting for you. If you're ready to face failure, success is waiting for you. So become successful. Become successful. So ignore the 5 myth. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of ideas. You don't need a lot of people. You don't need a lot of strengths. And you don't need formal education. What you need a lot of passion. Number 1, you need the courage to face the failure. And what is the other thing you require? What is the other thing you require? You need to be with the right people. Okay? So do this and you will become successful. You will become rich. You will become happy. My vision is to create more than 5,000 entrepreneurs in the city of Hyderabad, because I believe in only one thing. Only way to make India a strong nation is to build strong enterprises. See you all at the top. Love you all. Thank you so much. My email ID is SREE RAM JVC, J as in Japan, V as in victory, and C as in Calcutta, @gmail.com. My mobile number, please don't call me, SMS me. If you have anything, SMS me, I'll call you back. You can say that you're an impact student. 98490 45159. 98490 45159. Okay. All the very best. Loving you. Wishing you all a great future. Thanks, Gampa, and all the other organizers here. Have a great time. Thank you very much.